hit.
We're looking at two Sherman tanks, a 43 and a 44 model, both in running condition. Powered by a Ford V8 engine, and with the rubberized tracks, which is kind of hard on asphalt. And what are we looking at here?
This is a 75 millimeter gun rifle. That's a 76. That was an improvement. It was a longer barrel, a little bit larger, and it carried out a little bit more distance than what you got now with this one.
We got a 50 cal on top there.
Yeah, there's a 50 cal, and there's a bow gun. It's a 30, and there's a 30 up here.
A 30 and another 30. All right.
And if you want to climb up,
Yeah, let's. Yeah, how do we get up there? Let's see.
I usually do this. One foot here. Barrel, step right here.
All right, let's see if I can do that now. Look at that tiny hatch. Let's see if I can shimmy down there.
Coming down.
Coming down. So he's going to close the hatch. Oh yeah, and then you got that. Boy, don't bust your fingers on that. And you've got this periscope here to look out of, and this other periscope here somehow to look out of. Okay, clear. So inside of here, we've got a 5-speed transmission located right here. Here's your shift pattern. Here's your clutch. Yep, open her up. Here's your accelerator here. And of course, here's your steering levers, just like the old Caterpillar at the ranch, left and right. I assume there's a choke and maybe a primer here. And here's your instrument panel. So you got the speedometer, tachometer, oil pressure, temperature, fuel, amps, fuel left and right. So that should be for your fuel indicator, lights and panel lights.
We're actually farming.
And here's your transmission, and the engine is mounted behind.
Oh, thank you.
And there's your ammo stores there. And here's a looks like a second gunner's position, or I guess you could be a co-pilot. He's got a periscope as well. And then you've got the main gunner right back here. So let's go back up in there and take a look at that. Here you can see the gears on the turret inside the Sherman tank. Oh, I bet it gets warm in here. And there's your 30 cal right there. And the driver is just driving with no gun to work with. So a normal 3 crew position?
5.
5? So what are the different...
There's a co-driver over there, even though there's no sticks. He runs that bow gun, and he also runs the fire suppression system, which is over there.
Okay, fire suppression system right over there. Got
If
it.
you come up, I'll put you in the turret. It's got more room. There's more good stuff to look at up there.
So, okay, good. Let's see if I can get back up through this tiny little hole here. A little bit like giving birth coming out of that hole. Now we're going to check out the main turret. We're in the steering station now. We're going to get the briefing. What's your first name?
Ken.
Ken, all right.
Main gun.
Right here.
Yep. And this is the breech where we load and unload the shells.
So you got another guy over there doing that.
Yep. And I usually sit there, and then Chris, our tank commander, is right here behind me, sticking. He tells us all what to do.
So the tank commander is back here barking orders at everybody. All right.
Yeah, we don't do nothing unless he tells us what to do. And as soon as he loads one, he taps me on the shoulder, then I know we're hot. And then Chris will tell me when to fire whenever I look through here. And this is the sights for the main gun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can really see well when you get your eye right up on that. You can see really well.
And this is a
through that
periscope
sight.
here. There's another little one on the side there. When you look, put your forehead there, and there's another.
Oh yeah, I see another little one. Yeah, it's like a targeting scope on the right. Very cool.
And I also fire the 30 that's on this side with my foot. There's a pedal.
Really, right?
There's 3 switches.
Right there.
The one in the middle fires the 30. That one your foot was just on fires the big gun. Either there or on that grip. right there.
Ah, there's a trigger on the grip here.
Whenever I got the turret in hydraulic, I can turn that like this, and it spins the turret.
Okay. So that spins the turret, and this fires right there with the trigger.
Yeah.
And then we've got the azimuth. Yeah.
Barrel up and down.
Right there. Yeah.
And then whenever I swing, whenever I turn this, I got to have my hand on that too to release the swing brake, and that allows the turret to move.
Okay, so you got to release it here and then move it here. Move the turret here. Got it.
And then
Swing
there's
brake.
an indicator to where I can tell whenever I go back to center. Those two needles have to be on 0.
Ah, and that centers up the turret.
That way, because otherwise I can't tell where I'm at.
Yeah, you get disoriented real easy because you're not looking at the whole big picture.
Because it spins fast on hydraulic. It really.
So it's hydraulic and electric?
Yeah, we can do manual. You just have to flip this lever up for hydraulic. Now I can run it in manual mode.
Hydraulic. Manual would be electric, or
no? It's just manual without electric.
Ah.
You gotta
Crank
crank
it.
that by hand.
Wait a minute. This cranks?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's not a very good lever.
It's actually real easy.
Yeah. So it's got
It spins like this.
It's got a transmission inside of there.
Yeah.
Ah, brilliant.
And reducers to go through. And it also works off that gauge. And there's a swing lock. I got to make sure that's unlocked so I can swing.
You swing it around.
That lock there.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
Binoculars go there. Lights.
This is my mic that here. Everything going on.
Got an intercom system.
Yeah, this is the radio and everything back in here, over to the side.
Got a radio. You running a modern radio too. It looks like.
We use the racing.
Rugged Ridge.
Rugged Ridge Racing.
Okay, you got a seat for the commander here if he
this
wants.
Pull up,
Yeah.
and then it comes up and you sit on it. That's an air cleaner.
Yeah.
Air cleaner. Okay.
It pops off like a. Just trip
Oh,
that
yeah,
place up
yeah.
and change the air filter.
Get the dirt out of there.
Yep.
Radiator right there.
It's actually got. This probably might be the heater.
All right. Well, good Lord, I doubt you need a heater in here.
No, you don't.
In the wintertime, it gets real cold.
Oh boy.
The steel, once it gets cold, it's a new kind of cold.
Yeah, yeah. It's cold soap. You got a second filter. Looks like back there. Good.
And then there's ammo storage off to the left, down underneath there.
Left underneath, and I saw a bunch of ammo under the floor. It looked like too.
Right. We
Wow.
carry about 96 to 100 rounds.
There's the driver station down
And the
there.
driver station had them on left and right of him.
So, rations again. You said 5 crew members.
There's a driver, and there's a co-driver or a bow gunner. And then there's a tank commander.
Sitting back, kind
Sits
of where you
here.
are. Yeah.
Then there's the gunner, where you're sitting.
Where I'm sitting.
And then the loader is over to
Oh,
the
okay.
left.
Man, it's like running a battleship here. Those are all the same positions on a big old
He's the
battleship.
loader.
Whenever you're running like a live round through here, this breech will come back to here.
Wham!
So whenever it fires,
Oh man.
so you can't be within here.
Yeah, that you just get smashed.
Yeah.
Wow.
But see, this is a reconstructed blank.
That's the blank.
breech.
So it
can't
doesn't
fire
move.
It moves about that far.
It moves a
Oh,
little.
jeez.
Yeah.
But it's got a warning on it. You can't fire a live round on this.
Right.
Because it'll blow up.
Yep.
We shoot blanks.
Whenever you do have the
Literally
the other
blanks, not propane gas
one, it's
discharge.
black powder.
Wow.
Well, pull one out and show it to me. There's one down there.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. So you were literally loading the blanks there very carefully.
Yeah, you want to be careful when you take it off. Make sure
You
you
don't want to
got
drop them on the primer. Because you don't want them going off in there.
right. You see how I pull it out slow?
Yeah.
And you put your hand over it. That way, it's protected from bumping anything. And then you pull the rest of it out.
Uh huh.
And it's loaded with black powder.
We shoot about 8 ounces of black powder.
8 ounces.
So you gotta open this, which opens that, and shove it in, put pressure on it, and latch it again.
There's the other 30 cal right there.
I can use the sights over there for this.
And fire it with your feet down
Fire
here.
with my foot off that metal trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one there that's cable operated, that is in case the firing mechanism quits, I can still
Fire the big
stop
gun
it in,
and fire the big gun if that
So
trigger
the
here
backup.
fails. Yeah, got it.
manual backup on it.
So, you can get one of these tanks nowadays is standby. So nowadays, getting one of these tanks restored to operating condition, you'll dump them close to $1 million in it pretty easy, huh?
At least $1 million.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And this one's fully operational. And
Yeah, this one's owned by Chris Kurtz out of St. Genevieve, Missouri.
Yeah.
We're from South St. Louis.
And you guys, your day jobs are farmers?
He's construction. I'm a retired fire chief
Yeah.
and farm, and then Chris farms.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a couple of retired maintenance guys that did construction and heavy construction like that.
Just another heavy piece of construction equipment.
Just gotta be careful with it.
Oh, man.
If this was set up for live rounds, there would actually be like a cage here to keep people from being in the way.
In the way of it, yeah.
But that also presented problems with if you did get hit trying to escape,
Yeah.
trying to get out.
Yep.
Because you'd have to go down and under, and then where now we can just go out. But with this, it has to have that cage there because it comes back so far. If someone was between there, it wouldn't care if you were there or not. It's still
just
gonna
wang you.
go all the way back.
Man. Well, thanks so much for bringing this thing out. That's a live tour, or a tour of the Sherman tank. This is the 1943 version right here with the Ford V8. Now, getting into the engine here is a two-person job, and you got to do this even to check the oil. So this is designed to be armor plated to help protect the engine. Oh yeah, look at that armor plating. Help deflect all that and save that engine. And there's the big Ford V8. There's the cooling. Boy, that is something. There's the cooling fan there. And this is just one half of the V8. There's 4 of the 8 cylinders, of course. The 8 other are on the other side.
Sure.
Wow.
That's twin overhead cams, right?
What do you want, right on the hand?
About 1,100 cubic inch engine. What horsepower would you get out of that?
Some of them were 6, some were 8.
600 or 800 horsepower? Wow.
It's actually an airplane engine, correct?
No, this?
No, this isn't. This was made specifically for the tank.
Yeah. So people were asking about, what about the Continental 220s in these tanks? Well, you guys were saying the Continental 220s didn't last long in the tank world because they're airplane engines and they were not so reliable. They would foul the plugs on them, right?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys had trouble with them dying during combat.
Yeah.
Engines would
Quit, and then they'd be sitting ducks and it'd get whacked. Now he's gonna close the lid here.
Big fans like that, one on both sides.
Yeah, big.
So when you're driving behind there, it really throws a lot of air out the back.
So that's what those big exhaust ports are, not just exhaust, but air as well, air cooling. All right, let's see, close this thing back up. Watch your toes, watch your feet. Oh yeah. Man, very cool.
And that's also a spring assisted.
Oh, you got assistance there? Assistance, look pretty heavy to me.
That's fuel.
Radiator, fuel,
Another radiator.
radiator, yeah, and fuel.
And these are
Folks always ask about the speed and fuel consumption on these things. His point is you can't outrun your infantry. If you outrun your infantry, you're a sitting duck, you're stuck. So really only as fast as your infantry. However, the top capable speed would be about 20 miles an hour back in the day. The fuel tank is about 120 gallons.
roughly, yeah.
And out of that, you can get 200, a little over 200 miles. So you do the math on that. That's your fuel consumption.
Often talk to the guys inside the tank and direct them from being outside.
Okay, so an infantryman can run up here, catch this phone,
And get back here.
and get back here and talk to him and give him directions of what to do next. And these tracks do have the what's left of the rubber in there, but they are still hard on concrete as they can suck up the concrete. And look at those teeth. Holy cow. There's the rollers and the runners. And then where's the geared end? Okay, here's the geared end right there. There you go. driving them tracks. So here's where all that cooling air comes out of the engine. Does your engine exhaust come out here too? Engine exhaust comes out here at the rear of the tank. And way down here at the back of the tracks, you can adjust, tighten up your tracks, getting a hold of that big nut right there. The concentric nut that'll pull that wheel and tighten that track up. So this is Chris, the owner of this. This is a 43
M4A3.
Sherman. And you're a private owner. You keep it in your private collection,
Yes.
but kind of operate it as a museum, or
Yes, it's kind of operated as a museum.
and you come out to these different events. And how do you get a how do you get a tank?
Well, I was already collecting other vehicles and had already collected a Stewart, and doing business with people, some friends and business people in California, and him and a partner had a couple of Shermans, and they decided to sell one, and I guess I was the first guy they called, and thought about it a little bit and said, yeah.
So was this one in this condition when you bought it, or did you spend a bunch of time restoring it?
I've spent quite a bit of time on the inside to sand the engine and stuff like that. The outside I've kind of left it. It's got a lot of nice patina to it.
Yeah.
so I just kind of leave it at that. Did a little touch up to it, but it's pretty much how I got it on the outside.
So what's the market for a used Sherman these days? About $1 million or so?
No, it's less than that.
Yes,
Yeah.
But you can easily spend that much on them.
Oh yeah.
Like an old airplane.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for bringing them out here,
You're
Chris.
welcome.
All right, thanks so much for the Sherman tank tour here at the Columbus, Ohio Air Show. Thanks, guys. Thank you. See you here.